Presidential Emergency Operating Center. He did know that the plane or whatever was coming into the Pentagon, and he did give an order right before the plane hit the Pentagon, instructing basically the guy to stand down, because we know that nobody in the Pentagon actually got a warning of this object, yet they're aware of it in the PEOC. And then they changed the timeline in the 9/11 Commission report to say that Cheney wasn't there until 9:52, when his own testimony in early news reports puts him there before the Pentagon attack. So my thing is, all right, if we're going to actually open up a criminal investigation and a new commission or whatever, the first person that we go after is Dick Cheney, and he should have to tell the truth to us, the people, we the people. And if this thing is ever formed, I would hope that it would be actual 9/11 family members that had the power of subpoena, and not bureaucrats that are just going to cover it up anyway. Go ahead.
Well, like you said, that's good enough right there to form a warrant, what you just said. Also, the fact that they've closed investigations is obstruction. We don't have to argue it any further in front of any legitimate judge. Cheney and Bush would be immediately arrested, but we can do this. Who would disagree with this, Bermas? These are our fears. We're fearful of what we don't understand, so we don't lay blame directly at those who are truly responsible, because we're fearful of the consequences. But you're doing an outstanding job. It could be even better if on Coast to Coast they wouldn't downgrade you or never have you on, or say just a couple of days ago encouraging listeners to go read popular science on 9/11.
Well, who did that? Art Bell or George Norrie? It was probably Art Bell, right?
It's Ian Punnett. And he's done it more than once, and he can't. I don't understand how he can get away with that. If there's only 10 people out there that are fans of yourself and are truly committed to justice, get on there and say, look, we need to arrest those who are responsible for 9/11. They've closed investigations. Whoever did it is getting away for sure. Now, this is what's crucial with Cheney today. Cheney says you have to torture defenseless, innocent families, some of them to death, because he's truly concerned for your life and getting those who did us wrong on 9/11 back in New York City. But he closed investigation.
Yeah, no, I'm with you 110%, man, especially on the Cheney point. I mean, Cheney coming out and accusing this administration of they're going to allow another terrorist attack. Meanwhile, this administration is torturing just like the last one. They didn't really close down anything. If they are going to close down Guantanamo Bay, which they're saying they can't do because of budget reasons, they don't have the funding to do it, they're just going to move these people to other black sites where, again, they are torturing, they are raping, they are breaking the law. I'm with you, man. I hope one day we will see Cheney brought before a court and let us flesh out the investigation. Yeah. I don't have the power of subpoena. I'm not a district attorney. You know what I mean? I'm not a state DA. One day maybe.
Well, I've talked to a number of prosecutors. I mean, we could do this tomorrow. We just have to have the will to encourage others to demand the same respect for any individual out there that has a concern for surviving. We don't want to die as indiscriminate murder victims so Cheney and the boys can profit off our deaths, being unrepresented. These people aren't elected. We say they're elected, but listen, Ron Paul's got lots of good things going for him, okay, but look, Elizabeth Warren is the head cop for the TARP funds, the Congressional Oversight Panel. She says they're committing criminal fraud today. She was on Jon Stewart. She was on Rachel Maddow. You're only getting 60 cents for every dollar you're spending, and it's a criminal fraud. This is where Ron Paul should be, but he's not. Just like you said, I think it was your show. Or maybe
but I would say this, but Ron Paul is trying to audit the Fed, and he does have a lot of supporters on that bill. So if he's able to get that one piece of legislation through, I think that's a huge triumph, and I think it's along the lines of what you want to see, my friend. I'm going to have to drop you, get to the next caller. I thank you for the call, John. Let's go to Jessica in Georgia. Jessica, you're on the line.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
So I saw this article on the front page of my local paper. It's the Marietta Daily Journal. And I guess it's this former president of Mexico, Vicente Fox. He delivered the keynote speech during the Commission on North American Prosperity Public Forum up at Kennesaw State University. Yeah, which I didn't, I wish I would have known that was going on because I would have been down there. But it's the first line. Former Mexican President Vicente Fox pushed Tuesday for a forming of a union between Canada, Mexico, and the United States. Fox is, and it goes on to...
doesn't exist. North American Union doesn't exist. SPP doesn't exist. Doesn't matter that Vicente Fox told Luke Rudowski on camera he was in favor of a North American Union and was upset that the progress was going so slow. Doesn't matter. Doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's crazy. I wasn't surprised, really, but it's crazy to see it on the front page here. And the quote, it's funny, the quote that's right here by his picture, "I want a better future for North America. The dreams of our founding fathers will be fulfilled with freedom and better distribution of wealth."
Oh.
You know, in the article,
it's their founding fathers. Well, see, that's the real problem, Jessica. You know, a lot of people say, oh, you're a racist, you want to close the borders. I don't want to merge with Mexico any more than I want to merge with Canada. And it doesn't even really have anything to do with the people. It has to do with their laws and their process of laws and the fact that we're going to lose our sovereignty here in the United States and our Constitution and Bill of Rights. There will be new international regulatory committees. And again, we will surrender our freedoms as Americans, as being from the United States. And that's the big problem. And they just come out and say, we need it. We need a better distribution of wealth. And by the way, I don't want my government to be I mean, we're outwardly corrupt. We're very bad. But Mexico's government is even more outwardly corrupt, and the people suffer even more down there. And, you know, you talk to Canadians that are in the know, and like they say, it's like a soft Soviet Union up there. The people are brainwashed. Sure, they're taken care of. And again, it's a light tyranny, but it's a tyranny nonetheless. I thank you for the call, Jessica. We're going to go to Mark and others. The call line is 866-582-9933. That's 866-582-9933. On the other side, I'm going to be talking about this policing pledge. And it's basically this whole thing, how to make a promise to tattle on your neighbors. It's a great thing. I think it's out in the UK, and it's got the nice little outfit, and everybody's smiling and happy, and it's know your rights. Help us defend freedom by tattling on your neighbors. Take the policing pledge. It's the Infowarrior with Jason Bermas, prisonplanet.tv, Infowars.com.